how do you help people achieve what they want while at the same time delivering what they need? Because most people don't want what they need. That is where I have been circling lately, because what I'm realizing is that while nobody really wants to do the deep dive into their who and their what and their transformation, that's really what every business of any kind needs to do, because that is foundational information. Those are foundational clarifications that everything else stems from. And as somebody who has been in business since 2008 and took way too long to learn this, I know what it's like to be spinning and struggling and confused because you don't know who you're serving, and then the clarity and the ease the transformation you get to feel when you do know who you're serving and you can start speaking to them directly and precisely. Hey, I'm Brenna, I'm the merch nerd, and yeah, I'm really here to talk about merch, but I can't talk about merch and how to make that part of your customer journey to create lifetime customers until we talk about this basic stuff, the stuff you need. And that's a lot of what I've been covering these last 28 days, or 27 today, because it is so fundamental. And honestly, I'm having trouble moving forward into the merch piece myself without covering this, because I know that I need to get this out of my brain, but also I need to lay this foundation for everybody, because again, this is core information. And so that's a common conflict in a way that you are going to run into, especially the more driven you are to help people, because you're going to see what they need. You're going to see it so clearly, and you're going to be so passionate about it that you can stop listening to what they want, or even worse, be dismissive of what they want because you know what they need. And it's not coming from a place of derision. It's not, I know, we're not doing that purposefully, but our enthusiasm, our passion can overwhelm, but also be off-putting when we're not listening to the wants. And so as you are thinking about the transformation of where your ideal clients are now and where they'll end up, that really should be developed around where they want to end up. What are they frustrated by? How are they describing what they're frustrated by now? And what is their dream life? So when people say they, like I said, if they want to lose weight, and you're doing a health and fitness program, at some point you better deliver on something that is part of them wanting to lose weight. And maybe that's, only a few pounds on the scale, but you're really delivering on inches because you're focusing on toning. If it's they want energy, well, you know that they need to sleep well. But everybody, of course, knows they need to sleep well. So if you're like, oh, sleep better, that can feel very dismissive. They're not really hearing that you're responding to them. And I've told this story already, but I will probably tell it over and over again, because one of my big frustrations with my prosthetist, which was over an 18-month period, is every time I told him what I wanted, he would respond with what he thought I needed. And I felt very unheard, extremely frustrated, and to the point I snapped at him because he wasn't listening to me, or I didn't feel listened to anyway. Like I said, from the very beginning, from really the first day that I was told that I had to have an amputation, and yeah, BT dubs, if you're new here, I am an amputee. I am missing my left leg above the knee. And from that first very not enjoyable day where I was told, look, we can't save it. The only thing we can do at this point is remove your leg. I immediately went into the mindset of, okay, this stinks, but I'm going to get back to who I was before functionally, and even surpass who I was before. And every visit, from the first visit with the prosthetist, who is the person that creates your leg, I told him, like, I want to hike, I want to swim, I want to surf, I want to scuba dive, I want to get back to my life. I want to be active, I want a highly functional setup. And the first setup is like training wheels. Like, it's the one that will get you up and going quickly, the easiest to learn. Safety's obviously important there. But the second setup is where I got mad. Because, again, every time I said, okay, like, this first setup was starting to have issues. I was in pain. If I walked more than, like, a half mile was the absolute max. And sometimes at a quarter mile, I was having significant pain. It was time to change. And when I said, okay, kind of discussing new options, he's like, he kept coming back. And, like, the whole 18 months was like, oh, there's a leg called a sea leg. He said, well, this is safe. And I was like, I'm not asking for safe. I'm asking for function. I don't want my leg to explode and take me out with it, but I don't want safe. I want doing. And again, over and over again, I want function, this is safe. I want function, this is safe. Until the point, like I said, where I tried the sea leg, the microprocessor knee that is very safe. I didn't really like it. And again, he kept talking about something I didn't want. He was focused on what I needed, or what he thought I needed. And honestly, even at this point, if that was the best leg option in the world, I don't think I'd ever take it, because all I see of it is a limiting leg, because it's safe. And that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for function. And so finally, after I had literally snapped at him, he kind of started listening and started answering in line with what I wanted, which is to be able to do stuff. And that's why I have the Autobuck R380, because it's a more functional knee. It's not a microprocessor. I still have to make it swing myself, but it is, kind of, it can go to the highest level of function. It's waterproof. It's, has a lock, so I can use it for swimming more easily. It's not as safe because the knee can buckle. It's looser, but I can do more. I had to sort of force him to give me an option that matched what I wanted, versus what he thought I needed. And I was ready to just, walk away and just like, I'll just wait, I'll figure out something else. And that's kind of where he was like, okay, let me offer a different option. Don't do that. I've done it to patients myself. I've been the one sort of pushing what they need and not delivering what they want. And so it's hard though, because again, the need stuff is boring a lot of times. It's not exciting. It's not energizing. It's a little slower. It's the foundational crud, but it has to be done. So one of your challenges, one of the things that's going to be a creative challenge, a listening and really absorbing challenge, is figuring out how to deliver what they want and weave in what they need in a way that is still reinforcing that you're taking them on the journey towards what they want. And hopefully you can make it that it's not horrible and boring and miserable to go through. So that's my project or one of my projects for the week. But my big kind of entrepreneurship focus for the week is to pull the need into some sort of workbook with maybe a little accompanying training to make it more fun to take people through that process. Definitely make it more hand-holding, because just like I've told you, you need to know who your people are. But that's, you can understand that, I'm sure you get that. But the actual steps, like, I have not in all of my training really run into anybody who's laid it out like step by step by step for not just the who, but your interaction with the who. There have been some great teachers, but like, I know I've always had to walk away and do more research myself and more work myself. So that's kind of like one of the things I can do is be like, all right, I've been through this for multiple endeavors. I've talked this through with multiple people who are my friends that are in business. And I'm a really good big picture person and a good teacher. So I am going to coalesce that into some sort of product And then that will be one of the ways I can serve. And yeah, I will probably put a price on that, at least at a certain level. And because I can charge for it, I can offer more support, and I can serve better. And that's just one of the types of, again, products that take people farther along with you. They get to know you. Once they go through the basics, that foundational stuff, and say, okay, now, how do we layer over the other parts that you want? Are you doing that because you're a coach? Are you doing that because you're doing products? Are you doing that because you are doing in-person services? How does that layer and integrate with all that? Because you are somebody who wants to serve and wants to be rewarded sufficiently, even abundantly, with integrity for that service. And all of those things, all of the methodologies and designs and even tests and failures go back to that foundation of who are you selling things to, what are you selling, what problems are you solving, and what's your kind of special take on that process. But some of it is kind of buckle down and do some research, which again is what you need. But rarely is somebody saying, what I really want? I want to do 8 hours of SEO research and look at a bunch of Facebook forums and figure out who my people are. You need it. You honestly want it. How do you make that inviting and get people enthusiastic about it? It's a challenge, but it's a challenge that if you can solve it, when you solve it, is a game changer for everybody involved. You, for the ease of bringing people through a functional and effective process, and the people you're serving, because they get so much more out of their energy, their time, their investment. All right, guys, guess what? It is day 27 of the Just Talk Challenge, which means tomorrow is day 28. We've made it, almost. Like I said, tomorrow we're going to do kind of a look back at 28 days. What discoveries did you make? What did you learn? What worked? What didn't work? Sort of do an audit of what this process brought you, and then how can you take that information, that knowledge, and move forward with it for the next phase. All right, I'm Brenna. I'm the Merch Nerd. I will see you for the last day of our 28-day Just Talk Challenge. Bye, guys.